What's up, Falcons Nation? It's your boy Jew coming at you with another Atlanta Falcons video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up. In today's video, I will be doing my first NFL draft prospect video. Now that the Atlanta Falcons season is now over, I will be dropping a lot of these videos up until the draft of players I think the Falcons should go after in the draft. If you have some players you would like me to take a look at, definitely drop it in the comment section, and I may do a video on a player that you had me look up and do some research on, if I believe that the Falcons could possibly draft them, or if I believe the Falcons should draft them. But with that being said, if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you know when I've done Atlanta Falcons content. Hit the like button for your boy. I do appreciate each and every one of you guys for continuing to support the channel. If you would like to follow your boy on Twitter and Instagram, you can follow me at Jew Talk Sports. If you would like to donate to my channel, you can donate to the Cash App, which is the $ Jew Talk Sports. And if you would like to be a part of my Jew Talk Sports membership, you can also hit the join tab here on the channel as well. But with that being said, let's jump right into the video. So in my first NFL draft prospect video for 2023, the first player that we're going to be taking a look at is Andre Carter II. He's an outside linebacker slash defensive end. He played his college ball at Army. And this guy's a freak athlete. He's 6'7", 265 pounds. And when I watched his tape, I was really impressed. He's probably not a name that you're going to hear a lot unless you watch a lot of ESPN, or if you go and look at some mock drafts. But I haven't seen his name in a lot of the Atlanta Falcons mock drafts so far. But Andre Carter II is one of those guys I think the Falcons definitely may take a look at. As I mentioned, he's 6'7", 265 pounds. He's a very explosive athlete. The first thing I noticed when I watched tape of this guy is his versatility. Not only is he a guy who can rush the passer, but he's also a guy that he can drop into coverage. And being that the Falcons play a multiple defense, that 3-4 and hybrid 4-3, and we do a lot of different things when we had Dean Pease, I definitely think that Andre Carter could be a guy that would fit this Atlanta Falcons scheme perfectly. What jumped out to me was his numbers. In 2021, he had 17 tackles for loss and 14.5 sacks. If I were to do a player comp of a player that he reminds me of, a former player in the NFL, he reminds me a lot of Jason Taylor, the Hall of Fame defensive end that played majority of his career with the Miami Dolphins. And he pretty much, if you look at his build, Jason Taylor was about 6'6", 260 pounds. This guy's 6'7", 265. But he reminds me of Jason Taylor because of his versatility. He can rush the passer from, down in the three-point stance. He also can rush the passer standing up as an outside linebacker. But if you go look at the tape of him, if you go on YouTube and look at some highlights and watch some tape of this guy, he did a lot of different things at Army. They used him kind of like a Swiss Army knife, and being that he can drop into the flats, he can run down the field. He can play basically like an off-ball linebacker at times, but mainly they used him to rush the passer, and he was basically one of the best players on their defense, if not the best player on their defense. But if you definitely watch some tape on him, he definitely stood out to me on tape. But the main thing that stood out to me was his explosiveness off the edge. He was a guy really explosive. He's still kind of raw, and he doesn't have a ton of pass rush moves. So that's something that he's going to have to work on when he gets into the league. But I definitely think that he has the ability to possibly be a very good player if he gets under the right coaching. If he learns a couple more pass rush moves, I definitely think he could be a guy who can be a leading guy who could lead our team as far as sacks. But Andre Carter is definitely a guy I think that the Falcons should take a look at. Some things that may concern me about Andre Carter is that he didn't play at a big college. He played at Army, but there's been guys that come into the league who hasn't played at the top-notch schools like the Alabamas and the Clemsons. Guys like Khalil Mack, who played at Buffalo. There's guys that have come into the league and set the league on fire, even though they didn't play against top competition in college. So that's one of the things that I think a lot of teams may be apprehensive about drafting him high, is because he played at Army and he didn't play at one of the SEC schools, or he didn't play at, the Big Ten or one of those, top conferences. But I'm not alarmed about that, because just looking at his size, you can't teach that size, 6'7". You can't teach long arms, wiry, and that's something that this guy is. And you can't teach his athleticism. If you watch this guy on tape, he's an absolute freak. And I definitely think the Falcons should definitely take a look at him. I don't know if they'll take him in the first round, but I think if they don't take him with that 8th pick, he may not be there unless they trade back up into the first round. So the Falcons, if they want Andre Carter, I think they would have to take him at 8. But he's a guy that I definitely would take the risk, just because to me, I really don't see a ton of weaknesses in this game, other than he's a guy that's just really young. But I definitely think that he could be one of those guys that could be a leading sack getter for our team. And he could definitely be one of those guys that could be a really good NFL player if he's coached the correct way. But definitely check this guy out. Let me know what you think of Andre Carter. Is he a guy that you think the Falcons should take a look at 8 in the first round, or is at some point in the draft? I definitely think that he's a guy that's underrated in this draft, and I definitely think that he'll be a really good NFL player. But with that being said, this be your boy Jew. I have a lot more content coming for you guys. But with that being said, I'll holler at you guys. Peace.